Hello, I'm Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is my glow acrylic pour. This was one of the first of a few different paint-related projects that I wanted to do this year. And this was one where I slightly overestimated the amount of paint I needed. And I found a way to use up my extra paint so I didn't have any go to waste. This is a glow acrylic pour that I decided to do. And as you can see, I included the mixing process and all of that for how I got my colors the way I did. First color I did was my purely white glowing color that glows a lot when exposed to the sun. It really pops very well. But because all of the colors I was doing would be glowing, I decided I was just going to use the same container to mix all of my colors in. Why wash it out if all of them would glow anyways? So I moved on to a reddish color next because I really did not have a plan when I was figuring out what colors to use. I had all of my different glow paints out and it was mostly just choosing what I felt like using that day. And I can easily say the process that I go through now for mixing my colors has improved quite a bit because I actually have something rather than using a coffee stir stick to mix the colors, and it gets it done a lot faster. The only issue is it makes it a lot bubblier. So I did the reddish color and then I decided to do an orangish, a pink orange corally color because I apparently wanted something not red, not pink, just something different. In all, to do what I did in this video, it took about 20 minutes from mixing all the colors to cleaning up, which it's not bad. So then the last color I did ended up being a bluish color. Can't really say it was fully blue because there's obviously like pink in there, red in there. So it became more of a purple color, but it worked for what I was going to do. I wasn't going to be too picky and I just wanted to do something different because I just wanted a piece that will glow that was an acrylic pour. And that's what the first part of this video truly is. So the one color I decided wasn't the shade I wanted. Had to add colors to it. All of these glow, so that's where I wasn't worried. I was trying to make sure these were not the same color, so I added more red into the one. This is stuff that I go through when I'm doing some of my art projects. It's, okay, I gotta get everything prepped, make sure everything's ready, and then comes the fun part of making the mess that is what I want to do. So I simply started with my lightest color on the base because I wanted to see how this would turn out. And I just started flowing these all through where I felt they would fit. And I even changed the direction on a couple. And I am glad that I did some of these the way I did because of how this ended up drying. It made it look very neat, very different. And usually I don't wear gloves while I do these. And this is an example of what can happen. But I was liking how the paint drips were looking. So I was trying to figure out here, 1, where do I put this to let it dry? And 2, is there a way I can reuse this paint that I just dripped off so that way it's not going to waste? And I did find a way to use this paint. Yes, it took me a bit, but that's what happens. So I did not cut any footage out of this for the whole sitting motion for the painting here. And I was getting stuff moved around. I wanted this to be kind of more accurate. Yes, it's sped up because otherwise this would have been like a almost 20-ish minute video of how this whole process goes. But here is where I decided I need to figure out how to use up this extra paint. I grabbed another larger canvas and decided to just squish it right in all the stuff that dripped. And it left an interesting design. Then I just started having fun with what was left of the paint I had from my initial pour. I just let it dribble on the canvas, dribble down into the workspace I was using, and then I started pouring. So it's not a conventional acrylic pour, but it was a way to use up my acrylic pour paint here. And I kept the same colors because why not? I'm not mixing an extra color just for this. So it looks like chaos when it's on the desk there. So lined it back up, put it in, and then I manipulated the paint underneath by moving around with my hand to get this interesting design layout that ended up drying pretty neat and glows very well as well as my other one I did here. Like, yes, I added a last little bit of that white into a little spot that was kind of bare, but it looked pretty neat. In the end, this is how they looked. Yes, they're only pictures because trying to get video of this would have been a little more difficult. I love how they turned out, and I have them in my office where they are on display. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!